In the previous video, we discussed how to install the R software. We saw that after installing the R software, we could invoke the R software, and on invoking the R software, it provided the R console. On the R console, it was possible to execute any command of R programming. Now, what we need to do is we need to write programs in R language. Now, writing programs in R language on the R console can be quite difficult. It is not impossible, but it is a little tedious process. What makes it easy to write R programs is a IDE, or a integrated development environment. Now, RStudio is one of the many IDEs available for R programming. It is by far the most popular. There are other IDEs also like Jupyter Notebook, etc. So we need a IDE, and we will use RStudio as the IDE for this particular course. Now, in this video, we will discuss how to install RStudio, and then during the remaining part of the course, we will use RStudio for writing all the programs that we will discuss. Before we can install the RStudio software, we need to obtain the RStudio software. Now, for obtaining the RStudio software, you need to visit this website that is shown on the slide right now. That is www.rstudio.com. On entering this URL in any browser, you should get a screen like this. This web page, what you are seeing, is on Google Chrome browser on an Apple Mac machine. The interface may look slightly different if you are using any other browser, and definitely it may look different if you are using a Windows machine or a Linux machine. On this web page, look for the download link as is shown in the red color box with the red color arrow. When you click on the download link, you should get a page like this where the RStudio can be downloaded. If you browse down this page, you will see the different options for downloading the RStudio software. The simplest way is to get the free software of RStudio. So for that, look at the button highlighted in the red color box and pointed by the arrow. If you click on this button, you should come to a page which looks like this. On this page, look for the download button as is highlighted in the red color box and pointed by the red color arrow. On clicking this button, it should start the download process, where it will first ask you where the file should be saved. So in this box highlighted by the red color arrow, provide the file name which should be used to save the RStudio download image. It's a DMG file, that is disk mirror image file, and on this file you click the save button to start the process of downloading. Once the software is downloaded, we can use the software for installing RStudio. Now, to install RStudio, locate the file where the disk mirror image was downloaded. Click on that. On clicking on that, you should see an interface like this. On this interface, drag the RStudio icon on the applications icon, and the installation process should start. I already have RStudio on my screen, so I say replace it with the new image. So the installation process starts, and now it's complete. On completion of the installation process, the RStudio will be on my machine. We will next see how to invoke the RStudio and make use of it. We can start making use of the RStudio software. For doing that, we need to invoke the RStudio. So on Apple Mac, we go to the Launchpad and then locate the RStudio software. So you can see the icon. On clicking on the RStudio software icon, it will start the process of invoking RStudio. So on the first time, it will ask you about the security. So next time it will not do so. Now the RStudio software is getting invoked. So we can start making use of it. Now the RStudio software is fully invoked. Let us open a file, R script. So now you can see that the IDE is invoked, you can see that it is running R version 4.0.2. On the bottom, what you see is the same thing what you have seen in the R console. This is the R console. So you can do the same things like what you can do on the R console. We can check the version of the RStudio software by clicking on About. So it shows you the RStudio software's version. So once we have done that, we can click OK. Now on the editor, we can type any R command. So let's give some simple commands. We add two numbers, then we multiply two numbers. I'm just typing the commands now, I'm not executing them. Then I create a variable and assign it a string. This is a test. And then I just type the variable name. So now what we can do is on the RStudio console, we can start executing the commands one by one. So highlight the command you want to execute and click on run. You can see that the command has got executed. I can do this for the next one also. Then I do it for the third command that I entered. And I now do it for the last command that I have entered. You can see that there is advantage of having a IDE, because if I want to make a change, I can make a change, like I made a change here. And after making the change, I can run that command once again. So now I see the variable after the change has been done. I see that the change has been impacted. I can run all the commands together. I can highlight all the commands and I can run them together. And then I can save this file as a program on my machine. So when I say save, you see that now it's become a file which is called test.r. Let us go through the different parts of RStudio IDE to get familiar with it. Now, RStudio IDE is quite a large software. It is not a very large software, but it's a fairly large software. However, we will go through the basics so that we can start using the RStudio IDE for our purpose. Now look at the area pointed by the numeral 1. This is the area where we can write our programs. So there are various kind of programs that we can write using RStudio IDE. Now what you are seeing is a R script. Now we can write R scripts and this will be saved to a .r file and can be run on any R console by giving the contents. So here in this area we can write the program, and on writing the program we can hit run and the program will run. Now there are other buttons also which I will not discuss at this point of time. However, the basic thing is that this is the area where we can write our programs. On the bottom to the area pointed by the number 2, we can see that it shows the R console. So here it is the same as the R console that we saw when we opened the R software. Now on this R console, you can see the R prompt. Against the R prompt, we can give any R command and it will run as it is. Or if we run any program which is there in the area number 1, the command will be executed and the output will be shown on the R console. Beside the R console, you can see that there is a terminal. On the terminal, basically, it will take me back to the shell. If it's a Linux machine, it will take me to the Linux shell. On an Apple Mac, it will take me to the Apple shell. And on that shell, I can execute any shell command. That is, I can start a software, or I can change directory, etc. All those activities I can do. Whatever is possible on the shell, every command I can give on that terminal. So there is third tab, which is a jobs. We will not discuss it right now. This is not relevant for this course. If you are interested, you can look at this option and find out the more details. Other tabs also appear when we use different kind of software like markdowns, etc. However, I will not discuss it at this point of time. Now look at the area pointed by the numeral 3. Here we can see the global variables. There are other tabs also on this area which show the history, etc. So you can explore this part and check out what all is possible here. The last area that we discussed is pointed by the numeral 4. Here right now you're seeing the files, that is, it shows the complete directory structure, and I can see what are the files under the directory structure. I can browse through, etc. I can rename, I can delete, all these activities I can do here. Besides this, we will use an area called plots, where when we run graphs, the graphs will be displayed in the plots area. We will see during the course how to use this particular area. There are other tabs also here like packages, etc., which we will touch upon very briefly during this course for you to get more familiar. So we have discussed the basic aspects of the RStudio IDE. Next, we will go on to the portion where we will start discussing about data frames.